How many times have you looked at your bank account and said, oh my gosh, where is my money? Why don't I ever have any money? How do these wealthy people do it? How do they keep this money in their accounts? What are the secrets? What is the code? Tell me what I need to do. I'm tired of being broke. The only way to save money is to spend less than you earn. That's it. There's no way around it. If you are spending more than what you're earning, it's going to be a never-ending cycle that you'll never stop. You need to either decrease your spending or you need to increase your income. Having one source of income just doesn't cut anymore. Find another way to make some income, whether it's YouTube, which by the way is not easy income. It does take dedication, it takes time, but there are other ways to get short-term income, you know, whether it's driving for Uber or Lyft or all those other ones out there. Whatever it is, whatever other side hustle you have, please know that the only way to really make money and to be able to save more is by increasing your income. What are you good at? What is it that you're good at that you know people will actually pay for? You also have to be careful in what that source is, because you want to make sure it's something that you can achieve, it's attainable, and it's actually something that you can really make great money from. Always have money set aside just in case. Of course, we're not speaking bad things into existence, but these are just realities in life as this year has taught you. Just in case something bizarre happens, you'll have an extra $2,000-$3,000 that you can lean on if you happen to get laid off from your job, as a lot of us did this year. You'll have that extra money that you can use for rent, you can use for groceries or whatever until you're able to get back on your feet. So having an emergency fund is so important. I've never heard of one wealthy person who does not have an emergency fund. You have to start off small. So for me, one thing that I had to cut back on that I absolutely loved was getting my nails done. There's just some things that you realize, OMG, why am I spending this much money? I now do my own nails, and although I am not a professional, they are pretty decent and cost literally nothing. Pick something that you know you enjoy but you don't necessarily need it and cut it back. That's how you start off living frugally and just being smarter about where you're putting your money. How often do you go shopping? How often do you tell yourself you're going to window shop and you actually end up walking out with 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 things you weren't even thinking about, didn't need, but somehow convinced yourself that you needed it and you splurged and you bought it? What am I doing in my daily life? What is it that you can take away to add to your bank account? A lot of times, whenever you're having that battle of spending and saving money, we'll convince ourselves that things that we really want are things that we need. You'll find every way you can to convince yourself of that because you don't want to feel guilty for spending the money that you know you should have just kept in your pocket, let stack. Learn how to be able to say no to what entices you. Following a budget. You have to follow a budget. Following a budget really puts you in control. So many resources out there for you. There's so many different apps out there now that can help you with budgeting. If you really want to take hold and take charge of your money, setting a budget is definitely the way to go, because you'll always stay on track when you're able to see exactly where your money's going. You can see where it's going a month or 2 or 3 in advance. Set a budget. Like, that is key. You have to set goals, and you have to make sure these are realistic, attainable goals. Whenever you're setting a goal, it's always important to make sure that you're very clear and very concise with your goals. You don't want to just start off a goal saying, I want to save money. Say, I want to save X amount of dollars to buy a car. Or I want to save X amount of dollars to pay off my credit cards. I want to save X amount of dollars to finally take that vacation I've been wanting to take by myself or with my friends or your husband, your boyfriend, with your kids, whatever it is. Make the goal very specific so that you know exactly what the goal is and how to prepare for it. It's so important to be realistic when you're setting goals. If you aim too high, if you set a goal that's way too big, it's very easy to get discouraged, and you'll kind of just fall flat on whatever that goal was, especially as pertains to your money. So make sure that you keep the goal realistic, something that you can attain. You have to be persistent, and you have to be willing to sacrifice certain things that you're used to in order to make sure that you're attaining that financial goal. I am really looking forward to getting a new car. I want a new car. I'm excited about getting a new car. I can smell the new car smell. I can feel how my hair just blows in the wind when I let that window down. Like, I am looking forward to having a new car. So for me, getting a new car for me is actually somewhat of a short-term goal. But in order for me to reach it at the time that I've set to reach it, I have to make sure that I'm being realistic about the time period, number one, and then making sure that I'm sticking to the plan. I'm not getting discouraged. I'm not getting distracted. Make sure when you're setting your goals, you're really clear on what's short-term and what's long-term. So for me, buying a car is considered short-term, but buying a house, that's definitely like a long-term goal. Before you put money towards your bills, make sure you set aside a percentage, a certain amount that you always put in your savings every time you get paid. Like, no matter what bills are due, this allotted amount is what you'll put into your savings account every time you get paid. This is where your budget comes in. You're looking at your expenses, looking at everything to see how much you can afford for sure to put back into yourself. I hope this video helped you guys. I hope you really enjoyed it, and I hope that you apply some of these habits. If you have some other habits that you've used to save money, let me know in the comments below. I would really like to adapt some of those habits myself. Thank you guys so much for coming back for the second episode of Trish Talk Tuesdays. I can't wait to see you guys next week, and thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.